there. I'm Carlene Lavelle at PATV, and we have a special treat, or many treats here today. I'm here with Paul Siegel, Great Neck native and producer of Paul's Perky Produce. And not to just sell you short, Paul is also an author, a businessman. You've sold multiple businesses, like 35, 100. Has written books, real estate, finance. What else do you do? I mean, besides this, because the list seems to go on and on.
Well, I think at the end of the day, what I do is take good ideas and help them become reality.
Okay.
That's my passion and my dream. So I always think that there's lots of great ideas out there, and many people have challenges in executing those ideas. It's not so much the idea, because there are great ideas that are abundant, but making it a reality is very hard, and it's a process that really is challenging.
So let's talk about this reality, but before we get to this reality, you have roots in Great Neck.
Yeah, I grew up in Great Neck. I was born in Brooklyn. We moved quickly to Great Neck. My father worked at Booth Memorial Hospital.
Okay.
My mother worked in the school system as a special education teacher. And since the early 60s, we spent our time in Great Neck, and my home was really the house behind the duck pond at Allenwood Park.
Okay, okay. So pretty much your Great Neck roots have brought you to something I'm really excited to try, and that's your line of produce. So can you tell me about how did you get started? How did this become a dream of yours?
Well, I went through a difficult divorce and had trouble sort of getting out of the house and doing things that people normally do. So I was in the supermarket one day, I saw some ball jars for canning, and I thought, well, that could be an activity that can keep me happy, healthy, and wholesome, which ultimately became one of the taglines of my business. So I started to pickle. And I came up with a pickling brine, combination of things, some of which I saw online, but some of which I innovated.
Okay.
And I started with cabbage, which most people usually do. I went from one vegetable to another, and before you know it, I had a bunch of things that were sitting on my shelf and in my cabinets that were abundant, so let's say.
Okay. So the first item you pickled was cabbage, and that was the start of it all. And then you created something that was so good that it ended up exploding. How did that happen? Did someone say that you need to get this out?
Well, my girlfriend realized that my cabinets and my pantry, and then ultimately my living room, was becoming overpopulated with ball jars filled with all different types of vegetables.
Okay.
And I played softball, so I started to give it away to my softball buddies. I gave it away to my neighbors, and everyone was telling me how fantastic it was, and they said, you really need to be on Shark Tank, which I definitely did not want to do.
And why? Why didn't you want to be on Shark Tank? I mean, because clearly you have built a tank full of things that sharks would want, because I want to bite into all of this here.
Well, I think, you know, most challenges relate to, that I've experienced in business, relate to customers, making customers happy.
Okay.
I'm not looking to make sharks happy.
Okay.
I'm looking to make customers happy.
Okay.
And if I make customers happy, that'll make a business successful.
Okay.
Very simple. So I didn't really feel like I wanted to get out to more customers, get their feedback, and iterate from there. So I really wanted to just see more people and more ways of selling things and getting them out to them.
And you did that, right? You actually went out there and you actually got to those customers. In fact, some of your customers can find you in Great Neck because some of your products are here. Can you tell me about that?
I'm at Poultry Mart. I'm at a bunch of other markets. We just got into Stu Leonard's, where we're launching this weekend. Thank you very much. What happened was, basically, I took one of my products. When I was pickling, I went from pickling to making applesauces. Started with Paul's Pickled Produce, but when I made applesauces, you don't pickle applesauce, so I changed the name to Paul's Perky Produce. I made up a salsa, which is here. Mango ginger salsa. And I decided to go to a market that I have shopped in very frequently called Sahadi's in Brooklyn. They loved it. And I was kind of shocked. I thought they would like it, but they loved it. They said, this is fantastic. When can we get our cases? And I looked at them. I was thinking they would buy a few bottles. Before I knew it, they said, we'd love cases. And by the way, what's your product lines? And I did what most businessmen do, is exaggerate a little bit. And I said, oh, we have a bunch of products. They said, we'll take one of each, one case of each. I had to go back and then create the products that I didn't yet have. And that then spawned a line of salsas, a line of applesauces, barbecue sauces, picklers, which are the picklers, which are here, the sprouts and the radical radishes, for example, and oils.
Okay.
So one thing beget another, and it was just a matter of, taking one foot in front of another, and also listening to customers for feedback.
So I really want to get down and dirty with all of this here. So so let's talk about bestsellers. Which one are your bestsellers?
Well, a lot of the picklers have taken off. So the Brussels sprouts.
Okay, and Brussels sprouts are one of those things that, growing up, I wasn't sure I enjoyed, but I have grown to love Brussels sprouts. So what made you choose Brussels sprouts as something to pickle?
It's kind of strange, but I actually started to look at what I call orphan vegetables. I know it sounded strange. orphan produce. Things that people don't usually think of. Everyone thinks of cucumbers,
right?
But they don't think of Brussels sprouts or radishes or mushrooms. And so for me, it's not about only the vegetable and what's interesting, but also the name. So I sort of immediately, when I look at a vegetable, I know it's so strange, when I look at a vegetable, I think, what funny name could I associate with this vegetable?
Right, and this one is radical radishes.
Correct. So I thought,
can radishes be radical people?
Well, the funny thing is, I thought that they're crunchy.
Okay.
So they're going to cause a riot of a noise. So I realized, well, they're radical because they're going to cause a riot. And so literally, if you look on the side of the bottle, it says they're crunchy, but not too crunchy to cause a riot.
Let me see. Okay, wait. They're radical. Where
if you read under the uses.
Okay. Oh, okay. So this is a good one. It says, "Peace and love, dude. These radishes are, well, radical in every way. Laid back yet sweet, crunchy but not too loud to cause a riot. And yes, these are definitely useful to cure the munchies." What you know about munchies?
Don't know anything about it.
And it says, "Free radicals, that too. Keep it simple and pop in mouth." Maybe if I had radical radishes growing up, I would have been radical and probably eaten my vegetables. Who knows?
Well, I did grow up in the 60s and 70s, so I was a little radical if that's.
Okay. And then so we have our pickled items here. And then like you said, you started off with pickled and then it evolved into other items. So what do we have here?
Well, one of the interesting things is, again, the applesauces. This was the first thing I did in the fall, because it happened to be when I was pickling and then jarring items. I also did applesauces. And I realized, again, I wanted to come up with something unusual. So Honey Brown has a lot of vanilla and honey. The Pearlicious, which is over here, I believe. We have a Pearlicious, I believe. There it is. Here's Pearlicious. The Pearlicious has the Bartlett pear, which is the sweetest of pears. And it is, again, pears and apples. So it's not a pear sauce, it's an apple sauce. Each of these is about 40 to 50% Granny Smith apples.
Wow.
So a tart with a sweet.
Okay.
And so, and then there's the very Chuck Berry, which was paying homage there.
Chuck Berry.
Very Chuck Berry, paying homage to Chuck Berry. So again, started with a very berry applesauce, wanting to make it humorous, added Chuck.
Right. And so one of the things that I'm hearing and I can see is that it's very important for you to use fresh products. Now, to keep things fresh, typically you would put preservatives, but does any of your items use that?
Everything is all natural, gluten-free, no artificial anything. I didn't even think about that. The tagline, happy, healthy, and wholesome. You actually can't use the word healthy on a product, a food product in the United States, unless it is. And the agriculture department looked at my products and the labels, and you'll see that it is all low sugar, low sodium, very low carbs. And the way, to answer your question, pickling is a natural preservative process. And that's fine. The other products are it's called a hot process, where you put them in at a temperature over 180 degrees. And then once you put them in, much like you would jar or can, you'd use the lids. In this case, you use a special type of lid called a plastisol lid. And you turn it over, melts the lid, and when the product cools, it causes the vacuum seal. So every one of the products is called shelf stable for 2 years. So you put it in your cabinet, 2 years is perfectly fine. Open it up, usually 6 to 8 weeks in the refrigerator.
Okay. And now, it wouldn't really be justice if I can't let our viewers know how good your products are.
Oh, that's very nice.
And there's only one way to do that. So to everyone who's watching, I am going to take the initiative and try some of this stuff. So I think you've set out to have me test out your best sellers.
Yep.
So I'm trying the pickled.
Brussels sprouts, Brussels sprout poppers.
Okay, Brussels sprout poppers. And then we know that one of my guilty pleasures is chips. So
Can't go wrong with chips.
we're gonna do that with your
Mango ginger salsa,
mango ginger salsa.
which was the first product that I came out with, and fantastic seller. It has an interesting flavor, I would say. It has crystallized ginger, so the ginger pops, but it's not a harsh ginger, it's a sweet ginger.
Okay, okay. So let's do it. So where should I go first? Should I go pickled or should I go salsa?
I think you should go pickled, because pickle,
Okay.
then the sweetness of the salsa will sort of be the finish.
Okay, here it goes, team. So I have the Brussels sprouts. Now you said these were orphaned.
Orphan because, at the time I was thinking about it, I wasn't really combing the internet to see what's popular. It turns out Brussels sprouts are very popular now.
Okay.
There's a lot of probiotics in the apple cider vinegar. Again, what's unique about this to many foods is they're healthy.
Okay.
Okay, and this is a lot of probiotics, so you can actually eat as much as you want and not really
Okay.
gain weight. Everything is low cal also.
You said low cal, not gain weight. I'm sold. I'm sold. All right, here it goes, people. It's crunchy. Not too sour. And then it has like a little sweetness to it.
Yeah. The apple cider really brings out the sweetness. So we do use a little sugar, a little added sugar, but it's very small. And what's really giving it the sweetness is the apple cider vinegar.
Okay. All right. I'm ready for the next one.
Okay, mango ginger.
Okay. Do I go corn chip or do I go regular kettle corn? I feel like we should be voting about this on social media. These things matter, people.
Let's do both.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
My man. My man.
You can always go more is always better. More is always better.
Okay. Corn chip. I'm going in.
And the mango ginger, by the way, can be used as a corn for the side. I happen to use it on cheese and crackers also. So you put it on top, and it's very thick, so it's not going to run.
It's very refreshing.
Yeah.
Not too sweet. There's a little kick.
Exactly.
I got a little kick. What's the kick from?
Well, the kick is actually from the mango, the ginger, the sweet ginger. There are some pepper flakes you'll see, but that is really not what gives it the kick. It's we use a lot of crystallized ginger. So the kind of crystallized ginger candy you see, that's kind of what we're using. And, but it's a great, also, my girlfriend has done a wonderful thing. Mix it with a chili sauce. You go to ShopRite or one of the stores and mix it with chili sauce. She's made meatballs with glazing them.
Oh.
It's fantastic.
Okay.
So it's used as a side. You can marinate fish. You can marinate other meals, or mix it with something else.
Okay. So I know everyone's thinking like, what am I going to give your product line? Okay. Now my endorsements for food is very serious. Okay.
Okay.
After serious deliberation, I'm giving it 2 thumbs up.
Thank you.
Wait, what is it? Oprah do? You get a jar. You get a jar. It is perfect. It is perfect.
And you can get it locally in Great Neck. You can get it at Poultry Mart.
Okay.
And a bunch of other stores are starting to offer it as well. So we're
coming along.
coming
Okay.
along.
So
One step at a time.
all right. So everyone, you can find this in Great Neck, which is a good thing for me. And if you want to follow Paul and his Perky Produce, where can they go?
Well, you can go to the Facebook page.
Okay.
So it's Paul's Perky Produce on Facebook. You can go to Amazon. We're on Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Which is fantastic. You can go to Instagram.
Okay.
We're doing a lot of farmers markets as well over the summer. So we'll be on Long Island. We'll be on the Jersey Shore.
Okay.
We have all sorts of marketing things that we're doing. We're launching this weekend at Stu Leonard's in Norwalk.
Okay.
And a good friend of mine, Produce Pete Napolitano, will be there.
Okay,
So if
we
you're
like
interested.
Produce Pete. So Produce Pete and Perky Paul?
Yeah, he's the master. I'm the student.
Okay,
I am
okay.
just but the student. He's been in the produce business a very long time, and I'm learning.
Okay.
I really am learning a lot. There's like any business, you evolve, right? You
Yes.
need to, and I think one of the things I learned here, I think one of the things we were sort of talking about before is that you learn about, if you follow the details in the food business, but you also learn, in this case, I have a brown sugar barbecue sauce.
Brown sugar barbecue sauce. Now, you promised to come back so we can get down with this brown sugar.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. We'll make a barbecue grill. That's
Barbecue
wonderful.
grill. So the brown sugar.
And it was called the Bada Bing Bada Boom sauce.
And this is the old label.
Well, the old label is kind of interesting. It's the same product, but I thought, again, I like to put humor in everything I do. So the Bada Bing Bada Boom
This
sauce
one
was
here.
what I originally called it.
Right.
But people would come up to me and say, well, that looks great, but what is it?
Right.
So I realized that in terms of how do you communicate what it's about, you need to put the name and what's inside on the label.
Right.
Right up front. So it's
Okay.
a brown sugar.
Okay.
And it's the Bada Bing Bada Boom sauce. So we changed the labels, kept the same product. We have a Man Up, Man Down sauce. Again, it's a Carolina mustard. So now it's called Carolina mustard,
Right.
the Man Up, Man Down sauce.
Great.
So that's the
Great.
kind of idea.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And I'm excited. I'm glad that we're going off air right now because I'm about to get real personal with this line. But you will come back.
I will if you can have me.
I will definitely have you and your treats. And I'm pretty sure you're working on some new items too, so you'll
Always.
bring that next time.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So for everyone who's watching, we're very happy to have Paul Siegel here. And remember, you can follow him online. And of course, you can always come to PATV and our social media handles to find out where you can find this stuff and see some more videos about what else is cooking in here. So I'll catch you guys next time. I'm Carlene Lavelle for PATV. Bye, guys.